Good evening, brothers. I don't know if any of you are on yet or not, but uh, I'm bored out of my mind sitting in a hotel room in Laredo, Texas, waiting for a truck and waiting and waiting and waiting. Um, we'll shoot the shit a bit for 5 minutes until it's officially time to start. But tonight's episode is about that song. I've heard it all over the place. I don't know if you guys have or not, but it's got this really sweet young lady singing about I know Victoria's Secret, and she's full of fucking shit. Yeah, I'm early, Andy. You ain't country unless you're early. Anyways, let's see. Let me throw something up here. Invite guests. Copy that. Post it in the chat. And there we go. There's your link. Hey, Matt. Victoria, the one that the store is actually named for, had 9 children. So I don't think her chastity belt was working too well. Welcome, Brother Chris.
What's up, Brother Brandon?
Oh, it's a beautiful night down here in Laredo. It's fucking 85 degrees. It's really actually quite pleasant outside, but I'm just bored, so I started a little early.
Oh, it's all good, man. Don't think there's any law against it.
Nope, there is not. Hey, I got a question for you, Chris.
Yeah, go ahead.
Now that everybody has seen you,
Mm-hmm.
you know, with the MGTOW meetups and everything, why do you continue to be an icon?
I like my icon.
Well, it's a nice icon and everything, with a little girl swinging and a guy swinging.
Yeah, I think it sends a powerful message.
It does.
Do you need to see my ugly mug all the time?
No,
Well,
but I'm just curious.
Well, normally I do in other things. Plus, a lot of people don't like the fact that, people smoke. And I smoke a lot when we sit down and stream. So I try to kind of hide that too.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck if you smoke. I can't smell it here.
No, but it's just another thing that we have to basically kind of like do on the side so people don't get offended on YouTube. So
I'll give you some ASMR beard action.
There you go. We got to get fucking Ape in for that.
Yeah.
Ape's got to get some better lighting on that thing, set himself up with like a fucking OnlyFans kind of, setup.
Speaking of lighting, I should turn on some lights in here. It's kind of dim.
Yeah.
Just like me.
No, but I mean, most of the guys have seen me before because I've turned my camera on for most of them, like on DAX stream, especially when we first started. If I had something to show, I showed. If I didn't have anything,
that sounds dirty.
I know. I am a dirty old man. You know how it is.
Yeah.
But yeah. So what's Victoria's Secret?
Well, I'll tell you in just a minute.
Okay, I'm excited to find out.
Well, have you heard that stupid song?
I have not.
Oh, well, those of you who are waiting around, you don't have to listen to too much of it because the whole song is basically the same. It's I Know Victoria's Secret by Jax. Jax. And Jax is a little land whale with a really nice voice. I like her voice.
Oh my God. Didn't even get I Know. Jax. Oh, she's a little cutie.
Yeah. She's a catfisher,
That too.
but not as bad as that one that fucking I believe it was Dak had up the other day. Yo, Hermit, you are just in time. It is now time to start the show officially. Well, there's a song that's fairly popular these days called I Know Victoria's Secret. And it's where this fucking land whale named Jax gets all butthurt about having to go on a diet because she thinks she's fat when she actually is fucking fat. She has a huge fucking ass and big old fucking thunder thighs. And she was mad at Gloria's Secrets for making her go on a diet. And the song goes, I know Victoria's Secret. She was made up by a dude, which is actually not fucking true. Victoria's Secret is, if you notice my my icon or my thumbnail for the start of it is actually Queen Victoria. That's Victoria. And the secret was the underwear underneath her clothes. That was started by a couple when that was inspired by the man, I think his name was Roy, wanted to go out and buy some fucking underwear for his wife, but he was getting all kinds of dirty looks when he went to the when he went to the department store to go buy his wife some underwear. So he talked to her about it, and she happened to be a designer, and his wife designed all the fucking underwear, and he sold it. And that's the reason they have the catalog, is so men didn't have to feel fucking embarrassed to shop for underwear for their old lady. So Victoria was not made. Victoria's Secrets originally in its first 5 stores, when that couple owned it, from 1977 through 1982, until they sold the company to the Limited Group. The store was, most of its sales were through the catalog to men.
Yeah.
So Victoria's Secret started out as a mail order company that grew stores. They started out in Palo Alto, California, and their stores were set up like a English Victorian haberdashery, very classy, snobby, because women likes European snobbery, and that sold to the women, and the catalog sold to the men. They wanted something halfway between the Sears catalog and Fredericks of Hollywood, and that's how Victoria's Secret got its start. Victoria's Secrets then was sold to the Limited Group. There used to be a store called Limited, or the Limited of Bennington and all that shit. And they owned it for a while until it was sold to this other company called Sun Financial Holdings, which owns it to this day. It's a publicly traded company. It's not financed by one big fat guy in Ohio, although their corporate headquarters are in Ohio. But it has been run by women from 1981 until 2020, in which point in time it's had 2 CEOs that were men. And during the men's CEO term, they went woke and got Morgan Rappaport, or whatever the fucking hell that dyke is that played on the soccer team, and they're changing their image. They've canceled the catalog, so it's no longer for men, and it's only about stores. They didn't weather the pandemic too well because they canceled the catalog. They didn't do a lot of online sales, and nobody was going out. So this recently they've had a downturn in the market share. But Victoria's Secret is held publicly, so anybody can buy shares in this company.
Right.
But this whole I Know Victoria's Secret song is about this chick that's butthurt because she wants to say that it was you know, skinny models with big boobs, airbrushed, and they're not realistic. And now they're going woke and going broke.
Well, I mean, you could have Lizzo who thinks she's a fucking anorexic.
Yes, Lizzo, who has her
If
own
you want to live
fucking
in,
zip code.
you want to live in that fucking reality, go right ahead.
That's the fucking reality that they're pushing. And the reason this pissed me off is I'm sitting here in this fucking hotel room waiting for my truck. And I was flipping through the channels, and there was fucking Drew Barrymore, who was hot back in the 90s.
She was a 4.
I liked her.
I'm not saying she wasn't a good actress. I'm just saying she was a 4.
I'm not saying she was a good actress either. I'm saying she looked good naked. Hey, it's a matter of taste.
I guess. I mean, I'll give her a 4.
Yeah. Yes, Hermit, I believe you when you tell me that you're a 600-pound anorexic woman.
Hey.
If that's how you identify, then that's who you are, ma'am.
Here, you can go get that on your license here if you want.
Yeah. Hey,
no problem.
Let me post the invite for guests in again, because we've got lots of people who want to, I'm sure, who want to join. And this is just kind of a random stream of something that pissed me off.
Well, here's the thing, Brandon. If that's the new reality that they can live in and it has to be accepted, why can't men do that too? Why can't you be the new anorexic male model? And then if they don't hire you, they're fucking fat shaming or age shaming or some shit like that. Why doesn't it work the other way?
Well, it works both ways. Actually, it works in many different ways, because you can't get into a binary solution these days.
Well, I mean, unless you're going to identify as like a transformer or fucking one of the LGP LOL fucking groups, right? They're not going to take you seriously. They'll shame you just because you're a straight white man.
Well,
so you got to play the role, man.
If they try and shame you for being a straight white man, you have to go back at them like the cops are doing these days. And so you're just assuming I'm a white male.
Oh, that's actually probably a good one.
Yeah. Anyways,
I got that working in a pinch.
Smurf has told us that Victoria's Secret's share price is now $32.50. If you want to be an owner and help oppress women.
The majority of people purchasing Victoria's Secret now are women. It isn't for men anymore, because men don't buy their wives' lingerie anymore, because most of them don't have wives.
Well, you can buy the stock in the company.
Yeah.
You don't actually have to buy panties.
If I was going to buy stock in any company, it'd be fucking box wine and cat food. Maybe kitty litter.
Oh man, you're just not thinking well enough. Victoria's Secret is selling to all the trans people now too. So, the market share is growing.
So what you're saying is I should open up a new online store for selling dildos?
You can open any store you want. You can have, attack helicopter accessories if you feel like it. Hermit, get on. Tell us about the femboy at the gym.
Sex toy sales.
I have a heat-seeking moisture missile.
I personally think that all lesbians that use fucking male phalluses or fake male phalluses are hypocrites, because they say they hate men, yet still there's one inside them almost nightly.
Well, they might hate men, but they love dick. I can understand that. Actually, I can understand that quite well. But I think
the gay guys use them too. So, I mean, they're not hypocrites about it. They like men, so they use men fucking accessories. I don't know if many of them have what do they call them? Fleshlights. That's what could be a fleshlight.
Well, what's the
Pocket
difference
pussy.
between a flashlight and these guys that go after the dolls? I don't see any
Uh,
difference.
I don't see.
I don't see
I
any
don't know.
difference in that in my hand either.
Yeah, I mean, I've
It's
never
just a
used an
fucking another way to
accessory.
masturbate.
I've never used an accessory, but hey, I've used some women like accessories.
Yeah.
Does that count?
No, yeah, I think that doesn't count as an accessory. I think that's a team sport.
Well, look, I mean, I bring her coffee once in a while, and I talk to her for a little bit now and again. But I mean, outside of that, it's pretty straightforward. It's just in and out. It's
Hey
almost like
Jay,
a service.
Jay, what did the blind man say when he walked past the fish market? Good morning, ladies.
Who was it that said that the ocean used to smell different before women were allowed to fucking swim in it publicly?
Oh, that's an old joke. Down the joke goes something like in the Garden of Eden. Uh, they were wrestling around one day, and they got all muddy. So Adam and Eve went to go wash off in the stream, and as soon as she started washing her pussy, God speaks up. Now I'll never be able to get that smell out of the fish.
Oh, that's so evil. I love it.
But the world's oldest joke, that's been recorded, came from Babylon, ancient Babylon, or the Sumerians, where they were writing in Sanskrit, or no, cuneiform, where it's just like the little impressions of the fucking reed on the tablet.
Right.
It's actually a fart joke.
Are you serious?
I'm serious. It said it goes along the lines of, "Few is the young wife who sat on her husband's lap and not farted."
Oh, hang on, I gotta get rid of some fucking bots.
What, Jehovah's Witnesses?
No, I'm wrenching for Rebel Against Defeat right now, and I'm getting rid of some bots.
Oh, I didn't know I was going head to head with Rad. I would have.
Yeah.
I had this weekend. I got unsubscribed from like 10 or 12 different people. Rad was one, and Hermit was another. And you, Chris. I was unsubscribed from you too.
Oh Jesus! I don't say anything offensive, do I? To get me on fucking Susan's radar.
But Susan fucking has unsubscribed a lot of my favorite content creators, and I've had to go back through and say, who the fuck am I missing? And I'm sure I missed somebody. So, anyways, what gives people like this jacked bitch license to make up a complete fucking fake story and sing about it and blame her fucking overweight fucking thunder thighs on a company that has absolutely no interaction with her whatsoever, just because they put a fucking picture out in a magazine? And this is okay. It's absolute fucking slander is what it is.
Well, you know what I say? Give them a big old go fuck yourself. Move on.
Yeah. Well, I won't be buying her fucking records. But what other fucking stories out there in song form recently can you guys think of that were complete fucking bullshit?
Jesus, I don't know. I'm not much into music anymore.
Yeah, I can tell you
it got really shitty.
There's a story in the news right now about some dude who was going to kill thousands that got arrested, and he was an incel, so it's the incel murder plot.
Oh. Well, like I said, they're now using fucking MGTOW as a fucking mainstream fucking whipping boy now. You know, they're trying to link everybody that doesn't go along with the liberal fucking Nazi agenda as a MGTOW, and they're trying to link all MGTOW or Manosphere fucking groups with as basically they're trying to explain us all as incels, every one of us.
But I'm not involuntary.
Doesn't matter.
No, Smurf, I don't want to guess how Lizzo warms up her flute. That's disgusting.
Can you imagine crawling between those thunder thighs?
Ugh. Lizzo would be one of those girls you'd have to set on an incline and let it all fucking roll back.
Who's the other one? Lizzo's the black chick. Who's the white chick?
Well, we've had fat women singing for a long time.
No. This one's a model.
Oh, a model?
My mind's a blank right now. Anyway, yeah, she's the one that was saying that she was anorexic as well, and you know, everybody that doesn't believe her is fucking yes, Tess Holiday. There you fucking go. Tess Holiday. She's full on fucking nuts.
Well,
Lizzo's just standard fucking nuts, but the Tess Holiday, she's full on nuts. And I mean, she is a big girl. Like, she is big in every way. She's like an Amazon that decided to fucking eat nothing but Dunkin' Donuts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
But she's beautiful.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure she is.
There is no such thing as a big, beautiful woman. I'm a fat bastard. But I'm not claiming that I'm a model, and I'm not fucking claiming that I'm anorexic. I'm a fucking realist.
But I mean, you can say that they're shaming you if nobody agrees with it.
Only if you're female.
Well, no, you just have to identify as something.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, as long as you identify as some fucking nonsense, then you can get all the fucking, the pity parties you want. So, I don't know, man. Like I said, here you can fucking take your driver's license in and fucking put whatever the fuck you want on it, and it's fucking legit.
Well, thank God I live in a state where they don't do that shit. But it might be coming.
Oh, it's coming. They're trying to pander as hard as fucking possible now. All right.
Well, what I see him pandering on is all the drug convictions. Biden just pardoned everybody with a marijuana conviction.
Yeah.
Which I'm all for.
Hey, man, those guys should have been fucking released basically day one that states legalized it.
They never should have fucking been in jail in the first place.
No,
fucking, marijuana in its smokable form grows naturally.
In the U.S., I mean, it's labeled right there with fucking cocaine. Like, at least up here, it was illegal, on a federal level, but it wasn't like you were going to get fucking 25 years for having a joint of marijuana on you. In the States, you could get 25 fucking years for having a fucking joint of marijuana on you.
And who wrote that fucking crime bill?
Oh, I think that was Biden.
It was Biden.
Oh,
so Biden wrote the crime bill to criminalize the people. Now he's giving them all fucking pardons to buy votes.
He put them there, and fucking now he's releasing them to try to get some pandering going because they know they're gonna fucking lose. They have to lose.
He put them in jail to buy votes. Now he's letting them out of jail to buy votes.
How long has he been in fucking office? 2 years?
Since 1974.
No. I mean, as president.
Oh, as president, January 20th, 2021.
2021. Was it 2021? So we're just coming up to 2 years?
Yeah.
2 years, and the world has gone to fucking shit.
Yeah.
2 years. No level of fucking chaos and mayhem has ever happened ever in the history of fucking politics in 2 fucking years with a single person running the show, or
Well,
their branch.
that's not true.
Okay, give us an example.
Neville Chamberlain was a weak leader.
Who the
Hitler
fuck is that?
saw that. Huh?
Who's that?
Neville Chamberlain was the former Prime Minister of Great Britain before Winston Churchill.
Oh, okay. But the roll up to World War II, that started long before the British got involved.
Oh, it did. But one of the reasons that the roll up to World War II rolled up was because Britain was not getting involved because they had a weak leader in Neville Chamberlain.
I mean, possibly, but wasn't the same thing said about the U.S.?
Well, the U.S. was isolationist at the time.
Yeah, same thing was said about Canada. I mean, Canada didn't join till later.
Right.
And we were part of the Commonwealth.
Canada was basically forced into it.
Yeah.
By being part of the Commonwealth.
Yeah. But we didn't get heavily invested until later on. I mean, the fact that it allowed to fucking snowball, I mean, it's no different than what's happening right now.
That's exactly right. That's why I'm drawing the historical parallel.
Yeah, okay.
We have a fucking weak leader in charge.
That one took years, and the end of a First World War where there was still bitterness. This is all fucking involving in record fucking light speed time.
Oh, not really.
2 years?
The buildup for fucking Ukraine actually started in 2014. Because that's when
the USSR was even created?
No, 2014.
Oh, 2014. Okay, yes, okay. Well, yes, they obviously had fucking bad blood for a while. Between Russia and Ukraine, but that's not the world getting involved.
Oh,
now they're trying to get the world involved.
It was
the proxy wars, maybe. I mean, Canada was part of that too.
Putin started going after Ukraine in 2014. The secession of the Donbass and the other provinces was done as the basically the KGB, even though they're not KGB anymore. It was an action by them. That whole secession stuff with the little green man. You remember that?
No.
Well, the Russian army soldiers took off their unit insignia and their nationality patches and went in and fought and kicked the Ukrainian army's ass.
Right.
Not kicked them out of Crimea, kicked them out of the Donbass, kicked them out of one other province that I can't remember off the top of my head. All right.
Right.
And Polska Bob is saying Soros paid for the revolution. Yeah, he kind of did. But that happened under Obama because Obama was a weak leader.
I can agree with that.
So there was, then they signed a peace agreement, sort of semi-stabilizing Ukraine, called the Minsk Treaty in 2014. And it stayed that way until the spring. And both sides, the entire fucking time, both Ukraine and the breakaway regions were shooting artillery shells at each other.
Yeah. And Canada was up in Latvia and the northern part of Belarus, training soldiers there to fight against Russia, should it ever happen. Essentially, basically, like,
well, that's because Latvia and Estonia are members of NATO.
Yeah, right. But Belarus wasn't, was it? I don't think Belarus
Belarus
was.
is not a member of NATO. Belarus is
No.
a puppet state of the Russian Federation.
Well, they were still there, and then
Well,
it
they've been
was.
there since World War II.
Wasn't
At
it?
one time they were part of the Soviet Union as well.
Wasn't the U.S. was training people in Romania or Moldova?
Both.
Both, and this was back before 2014.
Yeah.
They were trying to lay the groundworks for proxy wars with Russia.
Well, yes, absolutely. The whole region has been a covert and overt hotbed since 1991.
Yeah. Craziness.
Oh, and Bob wants to know what Victoria's Secret. Victoria's Secret is it's a publicly traded company, and it was not made up by a man. It was made up by a husband and wife.
Yeah.
The original Victoria's Secret underwear designer was a woman, but the marketing and sales guy who developed the branding for Victoria's Secret was her husband, who was a man. There's a song out there that's claiming the Victoria's Secret was made up by a dude, which is not correct. Victoria Secret is named after Queen Victoria, and only half of her was made up by a dude. That's how little queens are born.
Hey, Brandon, I gotta take off to have some food, but I'm just gonna dip out if that's all right, and
Sure.
I'll listen on my phone.
Okay. And if anybody else wants to join in, let me invite some more guests. Copy that. And post this motherfucker. Anyways, please feel free to join the channel. Or the Get Polska Bob here, who seems to be concerned about Victoria's Secret. If you'd come a little earlier, I had a nice little diatribe on what the history of the company was. For the majority of its time in existence, Victoria's Secret has been run by a female CEO. But lately, they're run by men. Since 2019, they've been run by men, and that's when they started having that Rapapo lady and the fat models and stuff. So they've gone woke. Their sales are down, and Victoria's Secret. Another reason their sales are down, at least according to Wikipedia, is the Kardashians' influence on wearing sports leisure freaking underwear. I can tell you right off the bat, I am not a big fan of the fucking sports bra. It turns your tits into these fucking shapeless mounds of blood. But I much prefer, the fancy bras and that make your tits look, puts them on display. So if you get a little peek inside the sweater, hey, it's a cute bra too. Whereas a sports bra is just this sort of masculine piece of tit wear. So if anybody would like to join, we've got 15 people here watching. Don't be shy. I don't know how the hell we got to Ukraine because of Victoria's Secrets, but we did. But having lived in Ukraine, I can tell you that the Ukrainian ladies love their fancy underwear. They don't really have Victoria's Secret over there, but they love their fancy underwear. I've seen lots of Ukrainian ladies in various states of undress, and I know my ex-wife, Sheila, loved her fancy underwear. So good job on it. My second wife was really into getting dressed up for all occasions, and I never could fault her for that. She, crazy bitch, tried to fucking stab me, But man, she looked good, both clothed and unclothed. So, you're right, Matt. The woke culture will not last. Because let's face it, fancy underwear is meant to entice the male into fucking and spending his money on the ladies. Plus, the ladies like to get dressed up in nice things. And sports bras are just fucking sports bras. You know, if you're going to go and treat Academy Sports like Victoria's Secrets, it just, to me anyways, it just doesn't make any sense. Smurf, you want to get on? You haven't talked for a long time. Outlaw, I know you're out there. Andy, if you can handle, you know, talking over your hip pain, would love to have you too. Really, anybody. Matt, Polska. Polska said he can't come. He's picking up a friend. Well, last Sunday, in other news, last Sunday I had a stream done about myself, an angler, and some other guy I can't remember. So I made a little poem about that today. So I encourage all of you to go and listen to that poem. It's kind of funny. And then let's see. I've been getting really good views on the shorts. But we have a guest popping up. Who is it? It's Mouth Agape Ape, adding the beard of MGTOW to the stream. Hello, brother.
What's going on, Brandon? How are you?
Oh, I'm doing great. Waiting around in Laredo, Texas for my truck.
Is it broke down, or are you just waiting to take a load?
Waiting to actually get my first tractor. So.
Oh, you're done being a.
I'm done being. Yeah, I'm done being the what is it? Mentor, mentee. Or apprentice. Yes, the biatch.
Sounds like you've been all over the country and back a few times.
Yeah, we went mostly west. Mostly west of the Mississippi. I've been to Illinois twice, Iowa twice, Nebraska 3 times, Kansas once.
Nebraska?
Oh, yeah, we were transiting through Nebraska.
Yeah, you. I heard you sent a comment to me one time about passing me on I-80.
Yeah.
So if you were on I-80, you were 77 miles south of me.
Yeah. Well, you know, a lot of I-80 goes right along the Burlington. So.
Yeah, and most of that is, a lot of it's UP too. Union Pacific has tracks right there, like coming into Cheyenne.
Right.
All those tracks that you came in when you came in from Nebraska into Wyoming and into Cheyenne.
Hey, somebody hit that Tinder Hot XXX Best Adult thing, if you would, please.
Are you being porn botted?
We are being porn botted.
Man, you know you're somebody if you start getting porn bots.
Well, I've got my own stalkers. Actually, I've got two of them. And now I'm getting porn bots. So yeah, I'm coming up in the world. I passed 300 subscribers this last weekend too.
Oh, cool. I saw your little short you did. Is that one of your stalkers?
Well, no, that's those are just some haters. Yeah, Smurf is awesome. Smurf is the one that killed the Tinder hot XYZ best adult dating site. So kick ass on the Smurf man. No, somebody doesn't like the fact that I don't want women in the manosphere. And she was lumping me in with Angler, who has a very, his superpower is pissing people off, but
Yeah. Yeah. Seems to get into more than his fair share of disputes.
right. And then there's some other guy. He's like, she put out fucking initials for this guy. I thought for a second she was going after Turd Flinging Monkey, but it's a different guy.
You don't know who it is?
No, I don't get involved in her fights. But
is it MAA?
Anyway, she made this thing and like she wants to have a witch trial, which is from my poem. She said with glee, "It's all about me." That's what that's all about. But,
so she wants to throw you in a river, and if you float, you're a witch.
No, she wants to be in the witch trial. She wants to have her own trial.
Oh,
yeah. But I don't give a fuck. I just wish, like I said in the last line of my poem, leave me out of your trauma. I don't want anything to do with it. Stop including me in your videos. I'm not a member of the Crazy Bitch Club or anything like that.
I see.
So,
I was kind of wondering where that one was going. I saw that earlier, and I was just like, oh, I missed something. But I'm not on that channel, so I don't know.
well, I would never have known about it, but one of my friends wrote me and said, "Hey, she's making fucking a video about you."
You've got friends?
Some, or at least people I call friends. Maybe they're not really friends. Who
knows? So you get your first truck tomorrow, huh?
Maybe. I was thinking that I would get it on Monday. And every day I call them up and say, "Hey, I'm sitting here in the hotel room you're paying for, twiddling my thumbs."
Yeah, I don't know what the hell is going on with ordering stuff. I ordered a Freedom Seed dispenser here 2 weeks ago, and it didn't get put on the truck by mistake, I guess, coming from Vegas out my way. So it was another week, almost a week and a half before I got that, and that shouldn't have taken that long. But UPS has quit shipping those items. FedEx is still doing it, but UPS has quit, because I was talking to my FFL guy, and he said, yeah, he shipped out one the other day on a Friday, and it came back Monday and says, "Oh well, yeah, we don't ship those anymore." So UPS is going woke, and they won't ship firearms, so they're going to lose a shit ton of money. That's what Brown can do for you, I guess. Yeah. If I lived somewhere near a big dealership, or a distribution center or something, I thought you could get a Sprinter van, put gun runners down the side of it, and you could deliver once a week. You could make like 3 or 4 state runs and deliver firearms to people, to dealerships.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah, I'm just too close to frickin'. I got to get my 30 in at the railroad, and then I still got 7 years after that. So, but if there's any entrepreneur people out there listening, get a van, and if you're near like Las Vegas, or there's a couple of big firearm dealers in Texas, if you could get in with them, because now even FedEx is talking about I think some of their to ship guns, they're talking, it used to cost 15-20 bucks. Now they're saying, oh, it's going to be $130 to ship that from one dealer to another. So they're the only game in town now, so they're price gouging the shit out of people.
Yeah. Well,
I know that guy.
Hello.
What's up, Mike?
Can you hear me?
What's happening? What you drinking, Ike?
This is a pub beer.
I'm drinking out of a stolen Red Robin glass from 1996. I'm drinking a nice amount of Peach Crown.
Ooh, that sounds really good, actually.
And it is good. And it used to be they'd only make it a few times a year. It was kind of hard to get. But I saw some at the local Wally World, so they must have decided to.
Oh yeah,
it's good.
You live in a place where you can buy alcohol at the Walmart.
Yeah, our Walmarts have hard liquor and beer and wine.
I have to go to a store that closes at 7.
Do you guys have state-run liquor stores?
Yes, we do.
Yeah, Washington had them, and then they got rid of them, and they were talking about how they were going to privatize the state-run liquor stores, and it was going to cost 6,000 cops jobs and 4,000 teachers and 4,000 firemen, because the state wouldn't be able to pay them. It didn't cost anybody any fucking jobs. So how they make up for it? They raise the taxes so high on cigarettes and liquor. It's unbelievable.
Well, it's interesting because I lived in Washington for a while. The sin tax they have there is fucking ridiculous. The closer you get to Seattle proper, though, it gets even worse.
Oh yeah.
I don't understand how anybody could fucking live in that fucking city.
Well, where I lived was right on the Idaho border, so everybody in that part of Washington would always go to Idaho and buy their cigarettes. Then they had lotto tickets or Powerball, because Washington never had the Powerball at that time. So they'd just make a 20-mile run, buy cigarettes, buy booze, and buy lottery tickets over in Idaho, and then bootleg them back.
I learned that the hard way. It fucking cost me $8 for a can of Copenhagen in fucking Oregon. $8 fucking dollars.
Jesus.
Yeah, a pack of like Marlboros or Camels are over. Last time I was up there, they were over $8 a pack. When they say a special deal on a carton of cigarettes and there's 10 in a carton and they say $94, you're getting fucked.
I had friends in Seattle that I would go up and visit occasionally, and before I left Portland, they would send me money and I'd pick up cigarettes for them because it's like significantly cheaper to buy them here in Oregon than up there in Seattle.
Oh yeah. My grandma, right after they got that tax in, see, they have an extra tax on anything that's over a liter, or over a 750, I should say. A 750 milliliter bottle. They have an extra tax. So if you buy a half gallon or you buy a handle, you're getting hit with extra tax. And she was at a grocery store, and I went up to visit her. I go up every year on vacation and I visit her, and she's like, I don't know what's going on. She says, I was behind this guy in the grocery store and he had a half a gallon of some kind of a whiskey. And I go, oh yeah. And she goes, yeah. And the guy started ringing it up, and he kept ringing up and ringing it up and ringing it up. And the guy's standing there, and she goes, by the time it was all said and done, it was a $70 bottle for a half gallon.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. If you went and look at the price of it, it would tell you what they've changed that now. Some state senator put in a bill to have the total price, I guess, on the sticker now, so you know how much you're going to get raped when you go up to the counter. But before, it was like you would say a fifth of Crown. A fifth of Crown is $27. Well, by the time you got done with all the taxes that you didn't know about or didn't add up in your head, a fifth of Crown would be $42. Or $36. It might be $8 or $9 in tax on it. Yeah, the sin tax up there, the alcohol and tobacco in Washington State. I think I'm not sure, but I'd heard that it has one of the highest tax rates in the country.
Well, why don't they fucking tax all the fucking heroin those assholes are doing?
That's a good call.
I guess they don't think junkies can pay tax.
Hey, I don't want to derail the conversation. I just need to ask Brandon a question. Are you wearing your Halloween costume right now? I'm sorry.
I hadn't thought about it, but that's fucking perfect. Yes, I am. I fucking now have a Halloween costume. I'm a minion.
I was wondering. I thought he might have been going as a gay glow marker, but I didn't know.
Oh.
No, I think Minion works a lot better.
Yeah. He just needs to get a little bit bigger frames on those spectacles. Oh, damn! That was good.
Oh man, do you guys want to see something really really funny? So, I went on a few dates with this girl. I don't want to talk about this on my podcast because she knows where my podcast is. But I went on this date with this girl, and she's like, "I didn't really click. We could stay friends." And so I said something.
Yeah, right.
I said something to the effect of, "Usually women get scared away when they find my podcast." And she's like, "Oh, is that right?" I sent her a link, and her response was, "Oh yeah, you're right. I fast forwarded to the women are stupid and lost conversation in politics and hasn't responded to a text message since."
Well, that's one way of getting rid of them, I guess.
Well,
Yeah.
I guess it's a bullet dodged.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't want to like. I know you're talking about something specific, but do you guys want to see a time lapse of the Caboose build I just put together? Like I just finished it, like right before I came on.
Sure.
Yeah.
Here, let me share my screen real quick. Let's pull this one. There we go. Okay. So, okay, you gotta put my screen up. You can't put my you gotta like not just me. You gotta put up my what I'm sharing. I'm sharing something else. I don't know how to do that on mobile.
I don't see anything coming in for share.
It I am sharing it. Picture in picture. Okay, that's that. Here, hold on. If you go down to, I think it shows the people that are in your thing. It should show like my screen next to me in there.
Okay.
There it is. Okay, let me. We'll go ahead and play this really quick. There's music to it, but I'm not playing it right now.
I didn't know Victoria's Secret.
So this is they're putting the floor down. This is us putting the walls up here.
In the rain.
Who's helping you?
Right? That's some of my friends and Ken and my dad. And so this was it rained in the morning that day. It wasn't raining while we were putting it up, so it dried off. You can see it there. This is actually sped up like 3 times of what the time lapse was, because the entire time lapse was like 9 minutes.
Yeah, and thanks for the Caboose comments the other day there, True Blood.
I can't resist a good Caboose joke.
Yeah,
me neither.
yeah, I was the butt of your caboose jokes, but it's okay. I forgive you.
Well, all caboose jokes are about butts, so don't worry about it. You're nothing special.
And then the twirling, the wrench turner. That was a good one the other day. I wanted to say, I've got nipples. Do you think you could milk me?
Well, now that you mention it.
I'm a wrench spinner. Oh, I'm a wrench. Can you spin me? God.
Only if it's one of those torque wrenches.
Yeah, I'm sure there's some torque involved in it.
All right, so this is where we're putting the roofing on, or the roof boards on.
Are you going to leave it mobile with wheels, or are you just building it out of that and then you're going to set it on a foundation, or how are you going to do that?
It's going to stay on wheels. We're going to get things to put up all four corners, and it's going to stay in a specific spot near the spot that we're building it. It's only in this spot because it's easier to access it. The spot we're going to put is right next to a tree, and you don't get full access to all four sides.
So are you going to live in a caboose down by the river then, or what?
No,
Not
it's
by
on
the tracks.
by the train tracks.
Oh, that's well, you can hear train tracks anywhere in my town. I hear them all the time. You'll get used to them.
Oh, sweet. Tender Hot, best adult dating site. Oh, yeah, there we go.
Well, Smurf got him earlier. I'm sure he'll get him again.
All right. I did a video.
Hey, Ike.
Yeah.
You get up into Washington and go over Stevens Pass out of like Monroe, Washington, north of Seattle.
I've been through there once.
Okay, there's a place called the Iron Goat Trail, and it's a hiking trail, and it's about halfway up the pass, and they have a red Great Northern totally refurbished Woodside Great Northern caboose up there. It's like their visitor center. Yeah, it's called the Iron Goat Trail, I think. And if you walk the trail, I've been on it a couple of times, but there's always avalanches in the wintertime from the top of the mountain, and it brings these boulders in a snowfield across the trail. The last time I was there, it was about 15 feet deep, and it had rocks in it that weighed probably 1,000 pounds. So if you stepped in a hole and went under one of those rocks in 15 feet of snow, you might not make it. So we didn't go any farther than that. But hey, Brandon, what were the jets you were in the Navy?
Well, the plane I was on was the EA-6B, but at that time we were flying S3s, A6s, F-14s, F-18s, C2s, E-2C Hawkeyes, and that's it for as far as airplanes.
So was the what'd you say, E6?
I was on the EA-6B.
Okay, so is that the Intruder with the side-by-side?
It's a stretched Intruder. The A6 is the Intruder. The EA-6B is electronics warfare and anti-aircraft.
Because I was on that Iron Goat Trail that I was talking to Ike about, and we were hiking along that trail, and I got a real close friend that he can't see real well, and he's half deaf, so he's got to really be paying attention to what he's doing, and I heard this screech, this high-pitched screech coming through the canyon, and one of those E6s, those Intruders, flew right up the mountainside, right over our trail. He was close enough you could see the numbers on his tail.
Nice.
Cool.
I think that's probably why there's avalanches covering that trail, because it was so freaking loud and come out of nowhere, scared the shit out of me. I thought the world.
If they did like a sonic boom above that shit, yeah, that would fuck everything up.
Yeah,
the A6B and the A6, neither one of those were supersonic aircraft. So
he was hauling ass.
Well, even though noise,
no, they can haul ass, that's for sure. But
Okay,
Yeah, it
guys.
scared the hell out of me, man, because all of a sudden there was this high pitched. It was almost like that intake scream, that squeal, that real high pitched squeal that air moving makes,
Mhm.
and it all of a sudden it just appeared. I looked over, and right between the tree, out of the trees, this thing just comes screaming over the top of us. But it was pretty damn cool, though, I'd have to admit.
All right. Thank you guys for letting me derail your conversation with the minion comments and showing off my caboose.
Oh,
Um,
that minion thing is perfect, man. I'm gonna get minion glasses. I'm gonna get the
oh
fucking
yeah,
minion eye goggles
go
for
for
that.
it. I got
That's
I
fucking
gotta
perfect.
go. I'm actually at my brother's house right now. I've got some friends that live in the area. I was gonna go hang out with them, have a few more beers. I might hop on with them if they want to, if you guys will let me. But I
Oh,
gotta
sure.
go.
All right,
All
man.
right. Thank you guys. Have a good
And
night.
tell Scotty I saw him start to type, but then he didn't type anything, the bastard,
Ah,
on Shinobi's Discord. So Scotty is lurking, but we know he's there.
I lurk. I mostly lurk. I usually only post things when it's like a link to my live streams. Okay. Thanks for the everybody in the chat. Thanks for the kind words, Shinobi, Andy, Chris, Hemi, and I know I forgot somebody, but I gotta go. Bye.
Bye.
Hell, I didn't even know what we were talking about. We were just bullshitting. What's the topic?
The topic was tearing the fucking shit out of this stupid song. I know Victoria's Secret.
Oh, I don't know the song, so.
You're probably a better man for not having heard it. But it's a fat bitch blaming corporate America because she's a fat bitch.
Oh, is it Lizzo?
No, it's this new one called Jax. And she's not really fat from the waist up. She's one of those unfortunate chicks that have small tits and a huge ass.
And it's an axe handle wide.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
one of the lines in there is, you can't have a hot girl summer when you have to count carbs. So she was complaining because she wasn't getting dick down. Yeah, it's pear-shaped, exactly.
Yeah. I don't know how much carbs zinc has. I'm sure she could probably get some zinc shots.
She probably could, and I'm certain that she could get as many zinc shots as she wanted, just not from Chad and Tyrone like she wanted.
Oh, and now that she's an up and coming music star, she just deserves the top tier quality man.
Absolutely.
Okay, well, good luck with that.
Well, she's complaining about fucking being fat, and she blames it all on corporate America. But only the men in corporate America. But the funny part is, if you look at the corporate history of fucking Victoria's Secrets, for most of their existence, they were started by a couple, then they were bought out by the limited company, and the CEO that was assigned to them was a female. Then they were bought out by the Sunrise Financial Holdings, and the CEO under them was a female. And it wasn't until recently that they've had a male CEO.
So her song is about Victoria's Secrets being a corporation, and it's the reason she's fat.
Yeah, and Victoria's Secret was, she says in her song, Victoria's Secret was made up by a man. No, it was actually named after Queen Victoria.
Okay. I could understand if she was pissed off at Ronald McDonald or the Burger King for forcing freaking hamburgers down her gullet. She could be pissed off at that man in the corporation world.
Well, do you know how Burger King got Dairy Queen pregnant?
Gave her the Whopper.
Yes, he did give her the Whopper, but he forgot to wrap it.
An unwrapped Whopper.
Yes, with special sauce.
I've told women before, you're about to have a little bedroom fun. This was back in the day, and they'd look down and I'd go, "Hey, it's a Happy Meal. You can't supersize it."
Oh, there's
And
Smurf.
it's a 50
You know,
50
Smurf, like, thank you, Smurf, for giving us that link. Let me add the link for guests again. Copy that.
So she's just blindly going out there and saying that Victoria's Secrets was ran by a man and all this other stuff, but without
Right.
doing homework.
Yeah, she didn't do her homework because
Yeah.
she can't be fucking all outraged at women, I guess.
Well, she should be mad at Wendy's for throwing hamburgers down her throat too.
Yeah. Mitchell, are you back?
He's muted.
He's muted himself. So let's remove him from the stream. We don't need no muted Mitchells.
We don't allow M&Ms on our stream.
No, because M&M's melt in your mouth and not in your hand. And I don't want none of that shit.
Huh. So what else is going on with you, Brandon?
Oh,
I have to ask you.
I'm just playing the waiting game. I'm going to be starting a long stream window view out the front of my cab once I actually get a tractor.
Cool.
And I'm just going to have that stream up all fucking day and let people fucking, and then I'll have it going all night too, at least till I go to sleep. And just give a monk hangout sort of ASMR, no fucking set topic. It's just going to be, you can look at the front of my truck and see the countryside as I drive through it.
Now, you were working on your place in Kansas.
I was.
Okay, I never heard the story of why you decided to go. Are you just stacking some cash so you can finish building your place, or did that plan change?
Well, I am stacking some cash, but the real reason I got out of there was it was just too fucking hot.
Yeah, I know. This was a miserable summer.
I had to fucking go somewhere for air conditioning, and I listened to some of the other brothers out there who said, "Hey, if you want to stack cash, you can get trucking, live in your fucking truck, go wherever."
Yeah, they're hurting for people, man. It's like everywhere you go, they're wanting to hire drivers.
Yeah. And it pays almost as well as being an engineer, and you don't have to fucking deal with any of the office bullshit.
Yeah, and you're not wearing a suit and tie either.
No.
You're wearing a Minion outfit. You can wear what you want. I got you on that one, boy. He had that perfect.
Oh, he did. That was fucking perfect. I love it.
So I was kind of wondering why, because I seen you. Well, when you were gone, and you were with you had that roommate guy. Were you out of driving school or something?
No, that was in the truck. We did our apprenticeship, and we went to 18 different states.
So that older guy was your driver coach?
Yeah. Oh, and then the young black guy, he was the other guy in there learning. But
okay, because I remember you did a live stream with that older gentleman, and you guys must have been in a hotel room or something.
Oh, the older guy. Yeah, that was actually at the school. And that guy, he's from Arizona. He's based as fuck.
Yeah,
never married.
So he was another student at this driving school.
Yeah, he had a CDL license, and then he retired. And then he ran out of fucking money.
So he's getting back into it.
So he's getting back into it because when you're, if you let your physical expire, then then your CDL expires.
Yeah,
so you have to
I've
go back through school.
Yeah, I have my CDL through for my work because I used to be a traveling mechanic, and I would follow the track gangs, and I'd be the mechanic on the gang, and I had to have a CDL. Well, when I went back to the shop, the locomotive shop. I got a notice, and it was the intrastate or interstate. You know, you were supposed to go fill out this paperwork and everything. Well, I just blew it off because I wasn't driving anymore. And then I get an announcement. It was 7 days after the date of the letter. I get this announcement saying, "Oh yeah, 7 days previous, your license has been suspended altogether." So I had to go. So I was driving around for a week, in town here with an invalid license because I had no idea that my license had got suspended because I didn't fill out this stupid piece of paper that said, "Are you going to drive only in Nebraska, or are you going to drive out of Nebraska? Because if you need to drive out of Nebraska, you need to renew your CDL." And so canceled my license, and I had to go down there. And then of course you go in there and they want 6 proofs of ID, and they want your birth certificate. And I was like, "You just gave me a license less than a year ago. We need your birth certificate." So then I had to go back home, dig in the safe. Oh, I was in a blizzard, in a snowstorm, and I was getting hot. I was like, God, I hate the DMV.
Mm-hmm.
Ours is only here for 2 days a week. They're only here on Thursdays and Fridays. So you got to make a plan to go one of those days,
Yeah. Hey, can you hold down the fort for a second? I got to piss.
Sure.
Tell them a story about, life on the rails or something. I don't fucking care.
What do we got going on in the chat? Let me see if I can see it. What do we got in here? Indy's in here. Shinobi Wan. Hello, sir. Smurf. He's the bot killer. Mitchell's talking about lot lizards. Not surprised. Mitchell, how's your I saw that you had the one yes, I avoid rail lizards at all costs. Did you get your other 4-wheeler put together? I saw that little red one in that video you did with the neighbor kid. Did you get the other one going for this Halloween? Is he back?
I'm back.
Cool. I got it. I can't see anything if I've got the comments up. I'm blind. I can't see.
I understand completely.
Yeah. Okay, hold on there. There we go. Cool. I'm glad you got that going. So Halloween's going to be special for the kids up there in Mitchell's neighborhood, and Halloween's going to be special for our friend Douglas Edwards.
Absolutely.
Because he starts work on the 31st on Halloween. It's his first day on the railroad.
And he won't even have to buy a costume.
No. He can go as a dickhead railroader like me. So he's at work right now. He texted me earlier today. We were talking about some stuff, and he got his apartment the other day all locked down. So he said he was going to be moving I think a week from this Saturday. He's going to be leaving Missouri and going to Iowa.
Oh, hang on a second. I'll be right back. I'm going to change my icon. I don't know how to do that while the StreamYard's running, so I got to jump out. I'll be right back.
So you chose a Charlotte's Web icon?
Not exactly.
Oh crap! I got it. He stuck me again. Hold on. So Mitchell just posted a short on the other on that other four wheeler. Is that what you're talking about, or the party for the kids? Yeah, Andy, he is stoked up, and I understand completely. I was the same way. I had when I hired on in 1995, I had to move from Washington State to Nebraska, and they gave me 6 days notice. So he's at least got a little bit more notice than I had. They said they'd give me 2 weeks, and they gave me 6 days. I had no idea. I found out on a Tuesday, and they said if you want a job, be in Nebraska next Monday. So moved on a Saturday, drove all night, arrived in Nebraska on a Sunday, and I started my railroad career on a Monday morning. So it was a quick deal. I'll have to check out your quad vid. You got a new one? You got a short on it, or you got a full length vid? Indy says, "Yep, same. 95, 25 years ago." Yeah, I hired on in 95, and I've got this March will be my 28th year with this company. And I got to get 30 to retire at full uh, full retirement. I have to have 30 years in, and you have to be 60. So I just turned 50, so I've got another 10 years of toil. Yeah, you're right, Indy. I asked the guy, I said, I thought for the past 5 months, you've been telling me that you'd give me 2 weeks notice. And he said, young man, do you want to work at the railroad? I said, yes, sir. And he says, I'll see you Monday morning. I said, yes, you will. And that's how it went down. You back on here, Brandon?
I am back.
Doesn't look like it.
Now I've got my dickhead icon.
Oh, your Richard Cranium, your Dickhead Cheney.
Yes. I don't know why he was such an unpopular vice president.
He wasn't a very good shot, apparently.
Well, yeah, if you're going to shoot a lawyer and get away with it, you might as well, finish the job. But that's why he should have been more popular. He shot a lawyer.
I watched a deal, and it was an interview with Rob O'Neill, who was the guy that supposedly shot Bin Laden. And
yeah.
he made a really good joke about. He said something about him and Cheney don't have a whole lot in common, but they both shot somebody in the face. I got a good crack up on that one.
Yeah. Well, poor Ron Jeremy, he shot a lot of people in the face too, and now he's in trouble.
Oh God. Yeah, and look how bad he looks. I mean, all the years of drugging, boozing, and fucking.
Porn.
God, I remember. I don't watch porn anymore. I haven't for years, but I remember somebody friend of mine, and this would have been back in the early 90s. It was before I moved down here. Somebody must have loaned me a freaking couple of porno tapes, VHS tapes. There was no DVDs, This is old school.
Right.
And one of them, I didn't know who Ron Jeremy was, and one of them had Ron Jeremy, and he was putting the wood to this broad on the hood of a blue Cadillac, and it looked like about a 74, 75 Cadillac. It had a white, like the Landau tops, the white vinyl tops, and he's just freaking splitting this broad open on the hood of this freaking Cadillac. And I was like, that's a new fucking Cadillac when this movie was made. Good God, how long has this guy been doing this shit? Because he was skinny. He wasn't the hedgehog like everybody knows him as, you know. He was still
Yeah.
skinny and he had the stash and the curly hair but he was freaking putting the wood to that bitch on a Cadillac that looked like it just come off of a showroom floor.
Oh gosh, I'd love to have a car like that.
Yeah, my buddy had a 72, I think it was a 72 Cadillac in high school, and it had a 472 Cadillac in it. They had the 501s and the 472s, and his had the 472. And once you got it going, you know, it actually got really good mileage. It had I think it had a Quadrajet on it, Quadrapuke. But once you got it going and you got that land you got moving, it rode nice. It was a 2-door. It rode nice. It was it just floated over stuff. And I remember one time we were coming down this major street from the high school down to our neighborhood. We lived in the very far reaches of the school district, you know, and they had all those little traffic cones, you know, that are only about, they're the little tiny ones. They're only about a foot high.
Right.
They had a whole row of them dividing the street because they were going to repaint the center line on the 2-lane. And that prick rode over every one of them going down that hill. And we're talking about 3/4 of a mile. And he hit every one of them with that Cadillac. They were flying off like ping pong balls. God, dude, you're going to piss off some fucking people. He's laughing the whole time. He beat the shit out of that poor caddy. But man, I'll give it credit. That thing was tough. That was one tough car.
Yeah, it's back when they made them out of fucking steel.
Yep. And he'd be in the back seat, and he would go around a corner and just can it, and then that thing would finally hook up, and you'd be in the back seat, and it felt like it took 5 minutes to slide to the other side when you're slamming up against the other post, you know.
Oh yeah.
Good car though. It was fun.
Yeah, the biggest car I ever owned was my Cutlass.
Your Cutlass?
Yeah. It had fucking doors on it. The doors on this fucking car must have been 8 feet.
Yeah, I had a Monte Carlo, an 81 Monte Carlo, and it wasn't because 78 is when they changed body styles. Like the 77s, they were those big, long Monte Carlos, and they had a huge door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that, you know, back then you had to open the door for your girlfriend because, you know, if it was windy outside,
it was
windy outside,
out of the socket.
it'd fucking fling her across the parking lot.
Oh man, I remember one time I was riding around with my dad, one of the few times I hung out with him, and he had a buddy's car. I don't know what he was doing, but I think it was a 77 Chrysler Cordoba.
Yeah.
And I think it had a 440 in it. And it was kind of a gutless 440. I mean, it wasn't like, you know, they were choked out with emissions, and I think it probably had, I don't know if he even had a 4-barrel on it, but I had another buddy that his sister had a 66 Dodge Polara, I believe, or 68, 66. And I think it had a 383 in it. And that was a fun car.
Yeah.
Big block Mopars are kind of fun.
Yeah, they are. I was driving through Boise, Idaho, and I passed a judge on the highway. Those old school judges.
Yeah. Orange.
It was convertible. It was fucking beautiful.
Was it that orange, that bright orange?
I don't remember.
I think they made them in that deep forest green, orange, and I think they made a red one too.
But it wasn't red. But
yeah,
it was. I'm trying to remember. I don't remember exactly what color it was.
Yeah.
But we were driving up on this thing, and he was going 60. I was doing 65. So I had a long time to look at it, and we're trying to figure out what fucking kind of car it was. And we got up on it, and we saw the fucking Dodge, and then we got a little closer, and we saw the judge. He was like, "Fucking hey, look at that thing!"
Well, you know, Pontiac made the judge. That was a GTO.
Let's see.
Pontiac
No, this was a
GTO,
fucking Dodge. So maybe I'm calling it the wrong thing.
Yeah.
But it was definitely a Dodge.
Yeah, they've got the GTXs, satellites, what the hell else? The Roadrunners.
It wasn't a Roadrunner because it didn't have the big fucking. It didn't have the big fin.
Yeah, those were Superbirds and Daytonas. Those were either the Plymouth Roadrunner was a Superbird that they had the big giant fin on the back, and then the Dodge Daytona was a Charger, a Charger like Dukes of Hazzard. That was the Daytona.
This was a mid '60s convertible Dodge. Fuck.
Pretty cool car though, huh?
Oh, it was awesome. I thought it was a Judge. I'm calling it the wrong name.
Yeah,
then.
Pontiac made the Judge. That was a GTO Judge.
Because this had the
GTO
big
was
square.
basically a
This had the big square fins on it, and fuck, my tractor trailer's got 600 horsepower, and I guarantee you this thing had at least 400. Yeah. Driving by, it almost shook the windows when you heard, driving by this thing.
Yeah, that'd have been pretty cool. How'd you like Boise? Isn't that kind of a weird town?
I didn't stop. It's not that bad to drive through. But my favorite city to drive through so far has been Las Vegas. The highways in Vegas are fucking smooth. It's laid out.
Yeah, as long as you're not going right through the strip or over on the old Vegas or anything. If you're just hitting the interstates around it, I've heard it's pretty nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, Boise's strange because you just come. Where'd you come into it, from the south or the east?
We came in from the north. We were going from Washington down to Laredo.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a pretty drive. You got to see
it's a gorgeous drive.
Where'd you come out of Washington at?
Oh, fuck, I don't know.
Spokane?
No, came out of Washington. We went through just a corner of Oregon, and then we were into Idaho.
Oh, okay. So you came down you would have been in the southeast corner of Washington.
Yeah.
You didn't come down through Walla Walla or the Tri-Cities or anything, did you?
No. We saw signs for Walla Walla, but we didn't.
Yeah. That's a place so great. They named it twice.
Yeah.
They got good onions there. I'll give them that.
There's the guy at the warehouse like to call it. We're not in Washington. This is Greater Idaho.
Yeah. Yeah, I bet. Well, that's like where I live. I'm real close to the Wyoming border, and I just wish Wyoming would annex this whole panhandle of Nebraska, because I'd much rather be a Wyoming resident than where I'm at. The taxes aren't as bad, and no state income tax.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Eastern Washington's wanted to secede and go into Idaho for a long time. That's the funny thing about that state is the whole western side. You go from Seattle, Tacoma, Olympia. That's all blue. Pretty much the rest of the state is red.
Oh yeah, big time.
But that's where 75 to 80% of the population lives, right on that Puget Sound corridor, kind of like Portland. It's all that West Coast philosophy right there. And the rest of the state is red. It's nuts. But they don't have a voice because there's two counties that run Washington State, Pierce and King County. Those are the two largest counties. They have the highest population of the whole thing. If there's 10 million people in that state, 8 million of them live in those two counties. So that's how that works.
Yeah. And it didn't used to be like that. When I was a kid, Washington was red state. Colorado was a red state. Oregon was a red state. Hell, I can remember when California was a red state.
Yeah.
but
I
it didn't
remember in
stay
the
red
early,
very much in my life. Once Reagan was no longer president, and Jerry Brown got in.
yeah,
But
yeah. Well, you're gonna I'll have to get your I'll have to get your. Do you have your email on your channel description or anything?
God damn it! Now we got the sex bots back. Kill them,
Okay.
boys! Kill them!
Because I'd like to, if you're anywhere near my area and you have to hold over somewhere, if I can, I'd like to come down there and hang out with you for a bit.
Well,
It's relatively close.
I will
'Cause
be definitely posting my routes
Oh, cool.
because I'd love to. You know, I've been doing this MGTOW World Tour. So far,
Yeah.
I've met up with Rebel Against Defeat. I met up with MGTOW Cowboy, and I met up with Ike.
Yeah.
You know, I'd love to get any fucking brother out there who wants to go have a meal. We'll do a joke and we'll do a little fucking short stream.
Yeah,
You
that'd
know,
be fun.
you know,
Well, I'll give
and
you.
like
I'm
Cowboy didn't want to put his face out there, so we did a stream with fucking faceless Cowboy.
well, everybody's seen my face. I don't give a shit. You know that.
No, and I don't give a shit about myself. You know, I'm not fucking you. You know, if you want to dox me, fucking dox me. I don't care. You know, if you want to come at me, I'm armed, motherfuckers.
Yeah. I'm about 150 miles from Rapid City, and I'm 150 miles from Cheyenne, Wyoming. So if you ever hit and have a layover in Cheyenne or Rapid City, let me know, and if I can, I'll get down there to see you. It's only
Definitely.
2.5 hour drive for me.
It was now that I'm going to be on my own and not doing this fucking 3-person team driving, which is absolutely brutal.
Oh God, you had 3 guys in a cab?
Yeah, it doesn't fucking, you know, the truck don't stop.
Yeah, you just stop for fuel, and that's it.
That's right.
Have you got your Way of the Road tattoo yet?
No, I do not.
Oh, did you ever watch Trailer Park Boys?
No.
Well, one of the guys' dads was a retired trucker, and he was always pissing in gallon jugs. And then he was throwing them in the trailer court. He was throwing them on people's roofs, and they'd say, "You can't be pissing in these jugs and throwing them all over." And he's like, "It's the way of the road, son." So if you want to really
I've definitely pissed in a few fucking bottles. That's for sure.
Well, if you want a good laugh, get on Google and look up Way of the Road tattoos and memes. There are some fantastic tattoos. I seen one, and it was a half-filled gallon milk jug of piss, and it had like flowers around it, and it says the Way of the Road, and the piss is sloshing it back and forth in the fucking jug. Oh God damn, I laughed. I know why them truckers drink them Mountain Dews, them big Mountain Dews, because they're wide mouths.
Well, you know, I don't drink the Mountain Dews, but Gatorade has a similar like bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to try that trick unless you can get the fucking whole head of your cock in there.
Yeah. I tried pissing in a bottle one time, and I hit a rough patch of dirt or something on the road, and yeah, it was a regular Mountain Dew bottle, and it didn't work. I pissed all over myself. I was like, well, that's the last time I try that shit. No Way of the Road for me. Where's Mitchell at? Is he going to get back
He's
in
in
here?
chat. He's taking care of his youngin, so.
Oh, yeah, that would be 8:30. About time to put that little guy down for a nap.
But
Have you been through
one dangerous thing with Gatorade or Mountain Dew is you have to make sure you know which bottle's which.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to take a swig. It's kind of like you're sitting at the party with a cigarette or chew spit in one Bud Light bottle, and then you got the drinker in your other hand, and you forget and take a swig. You don't want your warm Gatorade bottle to touch your lips.
No.
Yeah, you look up just look up way of the road tattoos and memes. You'll get a good laugh out of it.
I haven't. Smurf was asking me about lot lizards, and I haven't actually seen any lot lizards yet. But I did stop at one truck stop that offered massages.
Nice.
That was in Portland.
I've heard a way. This guy I know that has been a trucker in the past. He says if you pull into a truck stop and you don't want the lot lizards knocking on your door, he says just get some toilet paper or some napkins and get them a little bit wet and throw them on the step of your door. And then that way the hooker will know that, oh, some other hooker's been in there and she's wiped her cooch out and she threw the frickin' deal on your step of your truck. He says, it works. It's like, oh.
Well, I sure fucking locked the hell out of the doors and
Oh yeah.
But we only stopped for food and fucking when we had to get gas.
Yeah, especially with 3 guys rolling. Holy shit.
Well, and our fucking teacher, he said, well, we'll be able to get free showers every day. And the motherfucker, he wasn't stopping until finally me and the other guy were just like, hey, we're going to take a shower and we're going to do our fucking laundry. Because I don't think my mentor did even fucking brushed his teeth while we were
Yeah, you got to watch out. Try to eat healthy too, because goddamn, that truck stop slop is terrible on your arteries.
Oh God, is it ever? I'm getting one of those fucking refrigerators that plug into a cigarette lighter.
Yeah.
So that I can have fucking vegetables in there.
Yeah, they've got those Dometic. Dometic makes some 12-volt refrigerators. They're kind of costly though, but they're like the people that do the overland camping and stuff, they'll run those Dometics.
Yeah, they're like $500.
Yeah, they're not cheap.
No.
There's a couple of places that sell they're a refrigerator heater unit. It won't cook food like up to temperature, but it'll keep food hot if you had something in there, like if you bought a hot sandwich or something. But they also have refrigerated ones, but I think they have one that does either or, but I don't know what kind of power they draw. Are you guys running are you going to be running, what the hell do they call that little kicker generator that keeps everything going on your truck without your engine running?
No, the new trucks have that, but what I've got, I don't know if you guys can see that. That's my fucking inverter.
Oh yeah.
So that's how I'm fucking running this shit.
So you're not going to be an owner operator. You're under contract to drive for this company.
Right. At the moment, I'm under contract to drive for this company. I'm gonna, eventually, if it turns out to be lucrative, I'm gonna go and get my hazmat so that I can, increase the amount of money I get paid per mile. And then if that, if the market stays strong for independent truckers, then, because it's really strong right now, then I'm going to go owner operator, but I'll have to assess that once I have enough money saved up to buy a truck. But first, I'm going to get my house finished.
Yeah. I don't, in my personal opinion, and I don't know the situation that you're in, but my personal opinion is I would stay working for a company because you're not buying the fuel at $5 a gallon.
Right. There's a lot of variables happening right now.
You're in the
Right.
seat, but you're not fixing the flats. You're not doing having the service calls come out and tow that semi. You're not getting stuck with that $1,500 bill, and then you got to
Exactly.
put new tires on that. You blow out a couple of drivers, or you blow out a couple of trailer tires, and holy shit! Yeah, they think that just money just pours out of your ass when you're a trucker. You know, it does. It pours right out back into that truck. My uncle had a logging truck, and he kept it in tip-top shape. You know, the Stadies, when he'd go through a weigh station, the Stadies would just wave him by because they knew they weren't going to find anything wrong with his truck, because he did maintenance on his truck on a daily basis. But he said the logging trucks, they rattle and bounce so much because of the road you're on and stuff. He said, I was always rewiring lights and fixing stuff. You know, something would rattle loose and you'd have to make a bracket or whatever. And he was always working on that.
Oh yeah.
And it comes out of his pocket, you know.
Then there's certain states where the roads are just fucking awful, like New Mexico. Nebraska's not bad compared to some of the others. Fucking God, and I had never driven from the start of I-70 in Utah to the Colorado border. That is probably the prettiest fucking drive I have ever made in my life.
You said I-70?
I-70.
Yeah.
Across the painted desert there. It's just fucking amazing. It's absolutely amazing.
I took I-80 across, went through Cheyenne, and then went straight over it, and ended up in Salt Lake City.
Right.
Yeah, I was heading out to Oregon. I had a buddy that was murdered out in southern Oregon. He worked for the railroad, and he was actually murdered at work. And I went out to his funeral, and I'd never been past Laramie, Wyoming, and taking that ride and going all the way across Wyoming, and then you go to the Flaming Gorge, right there on the Nevada, or is it Utah, or is it Nevada?
Well, I made that drive, but I was doing it at night, so I didn't get to see it.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some desolate land, but that desert is still pretty, you know. But I grew up in the mountains and trees and big lakes, so that's what I miss the most about living where I live, is seeing mountains and trees. But who knows? Maybe someday.
Yep.
I don't plan on going back to my home state, though. It's way too liberal, and it's just turned to shit. The laws there are asinine, and they just keep getting worse. And they're trying to turn Idaho into Washington, which Idaho's been red for a long time. And they're trying to turn that in Montana. Missoula is the hippieville of Montana.
Oh, God, is it ever.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I love the town.
Flathead Valley. The whole Flathead Valley has gone fucking hippie.
Oh, yeah, to go up to Kalispell?
Yeah.
Up through there. Is that gorgeous area up there, though. Man,
it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous, but it's been fucking bought out by all the Hollywood freaks.
Yeah, all the Californians. I remember in the early 90s, the Californians were coming up, and they'd get into bidding wars for houses. You know, a house that was $100,000, they'd come up and say, "I'll give you $175,000," because they sold their house in California for $475,000. They came up to Washington. They raised the real estate market damn near doubled because these guys would get into bidding wars. And right now at my job, I would not be able to afford a house in my home where I was born and raised. I wouldn't be able to afford a home. And I make pretty decent money. But I wouldn't be able to buy the houses that the style of house I would have lived in back then. You're looking at $350,000, $400,000 as a single guy. I'm not going to spend one whole paycheck or 1.5 paychecks on a house payment.
Yeah.
You know, because then you got a vehicle and you got everything else. I live in an apartment. I have 2 pickups. Granted, one of them's an 86 and one of them's a 2015, but I got a couple motorcycles, a couple pickups. You know, I'm doing okay and I'm happy with it. I can leave and lock that door and I can walk out for a week and not have to worry. I don't have to mow a lawn. That's what I told Doug. You know, he was talking about houses and stuff. I said, dude, you're going to be a conductor on the railroad. You're not going to be home. It's almost like trucking. I said, you're going to be gone several days a week. I said, get an apartment because you can close the door and you don't have to worry about mowing lawns or anything like that. I said, you come home, you go to sleep, you make yourself something to eat, and you go back to work. He's looking forward to it. I said, you're going to be busy. I said, you're going to make some money though, too. So I'm happy for him. I'm glad it's working out for him. He was kind of worrying, and you know how people do. They, oh my God, I didn't hear about it. You know, instantaneous response. So they're probably not going to hire me. Well, the stars aligned and he got hired, and I'm so proud of him.
It takes some time to get hired sometimes. Like
Yeah,
it took me a month to get on this company
yeah.
that I'm at.
Are they affiliated with your area of the world, or are they?
They're nationwide.
Oh, okay. I was wondering if it was like close to Kansas City, Missouri, or somewhere, but they've probably got places everywhere.
Yeah, they don't have a lot in KC, but they got a lot in Chicago. They got a lot in Indianapolis. They've got a huge fucking facility down here in Laredo. They got a big facility in Salt Lake. They got one in LA. I think they've got one.
You went down through Salt Lake City, didn't you?
Yeah,
that's where you went with Reb, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's where I met Rad at.
What'd you think of Salt Lake City?
That's where the school that I went to. They've got 3 schools, and they're cranking out fucking 20 or 30 truckers a week.
Wow. What did you think of Salt Lake City? I've been there. I drove through once and I stayed for 1 or 2 days. We bought a camper when I was married. We bought a camper from a dealership there. We bought an RV, a tow behind camper. No, that was Boise, but we went to Salt Lake City on our route. But I was impressed because it was the cleanest, bigger city that I've ever been in my life. I didn't see garbage flowing down the street. It was very clean. That's what I noticed about it. And the people's lawns were done, you know, they were mowed. There wasn't a lot of dirty, grungy houses. It just looked like a very tidy city. I was impressed with it. And that Mormon building, the church there, it's an impressive structure. I'm not a Mormon, but I can appreciate pretty architecture.
Right, and to think they built that with hand tools.
Yeah.
Hey man, people were more skilled back then.
Yeah.
Like actual skill.
No, you had to be.
Yeah. Yeah, you kind of fucking had to be.
Yeah. What's up, Mitchell? How are you?
Not much, Brother Ape. How are you?
I'm doing well, man.
Good.
One thing I couldn't stand about Salt Lake City was, whoa!
Look at that sexy ceiling.
A block away from the Mormon Tabernacle, I was walking downtown the day I was supposed to meet fucking Rad, and they had a fucking children's fucking trans disco brunch for fucking little kids to go watch the fucking trannies prance around.
That was
a block away from the Mormon Tabernacle.
Was it a strip joint or a bar or what?
It was a bar.
Did you consider lighting it on fire?
I made a short about it, and that short got age restricted.
Yeah, I remember. I saw it went right when you put it out. I saw it before it got. Did it get pulled down then?
No, it didn't get pulled down. It got age restricted.
Yeah.
That shit is
And
fucking
it was about a
disgusting.
fucking children's show. Why the fuck are they age restricting a children's show? Probably because I called them a bunch of degenerates. But
Yeah, isn't that amazing that it's that close to the world center for the Mormon religion?
apparently, everybody at Utah State University, not BYU, but Utah State, that's where all the fucking freaks hang out.
Is the Utes?
The Utes.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that. I know that I think there's only 2 liquor stores in Salt Lake City that you can actually buy liquor and cold non 3.2 beer.
What the fuck
I walked
is
into
3.2 beer?
3.2 beer is 3.2%. Like Colorado used to have, I don't know if they still do, but Colorado used to be drinking age was 18 or 19, but you had to go to a liquor store. You had to be 21 to buy at a liquor store. But if you went to 7-Eleven, you could be 18 or 19. But
That's
it was
the same way it was in
3.2%.
Kansas too.
Yeah. So if you don't buy the alcohol from a state-run liquor store or a liquor store in general, the beer would be 3.2%, which all that does is make you piss. You got to drink twice as much. And Salt Lake City was that way because I walked into one of the liquor stores. I found it, and there was somebody running traffic. There were so many people going into this parking lot. They had a traffic director. And I thought, well, this is ironic, and we're only 6 blocks away from the tabernacle thing. And so I walked in there, and I'm looking around, and this woman security guard is sitting on a pallet of warm beer, and I'm looking for the coolers, and I'm like, there's no hard alcohol, and I'm looking around, and I walked up to her, and I says, can I ask you a question? She goes, yeah. I said, do you guys have cold beer? And she goes, you're not from here, are you? And I go, nope. She goes, well, they have cold beer at that other liquor store, and it's on the other side of town. And she says, but there's a 7-Eleven 2 blocks up here. You can buy beer there. Well, I go up there and buy beer. I get back to my hotel room, and I look at the wife, and I say, this is 3.2 beer.
So is that like a short beer then?
No, it's just 3, like Bud Light is 5%.
Right.
Budweiser
Most beer
is
starts
5%.
at 5%.
Yeah, so this is 3.2% beer. It has less alcohol by volume.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Short beers generally have less alcohol for volume.
Oh, I thought you meant like smaller cans or something.
No. They call it a short beer. It's like a quick made. It's an old time thing, right? It's quick made, right? So it's made within like a couple days, and it has to be drank within like the week because it'll.
Oh, you're talking about bathtub brew.
Something like that. It's what people used to brew in their homes all the time. You know what I mean? It's
I had a buddy that would home brewed stuff, and he was doing the home brew, and it was made and aged in the 2-liter bottle that he handed to you when you went to the party.
Nice. Well,
he'd hand you a 2-liter bottle of beer, and it was made in that bottle. And the bottom, that bottom looked like sea monkeys floating around. And he says, "Those are the dregs. You don't want to drink the dregs. It looked like mud in the bottom,
white mud."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to learn like I was trying to plant some barley and corn and stuff here this summer to make a homemade barley brew, right? And it's essentially like a short beer. So it's only fermented for essentially like 3 days, right? 3 to 4 days.
Mm-hmm.
And it's drank within the next 3 to 4 days type of deal. But it's apparently supposed to be really good tasting, and it's not too hard on the body, essentially, right? Especially
is it more like a barley wine?
I'm not too sure. I've never tried a barley wine either.
Because they make a barley wine that's it's not really, I don't think it's a liqueur, and it's not really a beer. It's kind of like a in between.
Well, wouldn't that be like higher in alcohol then?
I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know.
I'm not a biologist. I don't know what a woman is, and I don't know my alcohols, Chris.
I know what a woman is. You know what? I'll tell you what a woman is. A woman is a life support system for a pussy.
That's right. Light
I
support
have
system
heard
for
that several
vagina.
times in my life.
But no,
but I do know that in the southern part of Washington I was in, and the northern part of Idaho, they were fucking growing hops and they were harvesting them when we were driving through there. God, that smelled so fucking good.
okay,
Yeah.
Ape, you guys might refer to it as a small beer. Low alcohol brewery, crafted brew. It's usually between 2.8% alcohol.
Yeah, I've never heard that term. We always just called it, because everywhere state that had it was called 3.2 beer. So you just called it 3.2. It was 3.2%.
Well, this
So
is
everybody just
generally-
called it 3.2 or low lead or low alcohol.
Yeah.
Yeah, you Canadians with your fancy terms.
Yes. You and your metric system.
And your fucking Trudeau Castros.
That's like you know what they call a Big Mac or a quarter pounder in England? They call it a Royale with cheese. Why is that? The metric system. Quarter pounder is.
You fucking racist.
That was off of Pulp Fiction. Now, come on.
No. Yeah, the small beer is essentially what you're talking about, is the low alcohol beer. But
Yeah, it's low ABV.
This isn't brewed with hops. There's no hops in it. So generally it doesn't have a preservative, right? Because hops is the preservative and a flavor. But this is just done with your standard. You can use essentially the same yeast that you culture in your house, for your breads, your leaven, right? You use a bit of that same yeast to ferment your beers. And the small beers, as they call them, like I said, it was something that was done in people's houses, kind of like on the other day basis, right? And it was drank within a few days after that. They weren't meant to last long, but they're apparently kind of nice, and you can make them, I guess, into like ale house styles, with a little more fermentation.
Yeah.
But I don't think you would want it to go into like a wine phase. So I don't think it's like that. I haven't tried it yet. So, but hey, fuck it. I'll try anything.
Pooping's got a good deal there. He says a good quasi barley wine is Dragon's Milk, and it's a bourbon barrel aged stout. Ooh, yeah.
See, I don't even know the difference between these things. An ale, a stout, a fucking
a stout is like a Guinness.
Okay.
Dark beer.
It's dark beer for thick neck guys.
Guys with beards.
Well, motherfuckers, I'm actually probably the only Irish one here, so.
Well,
you're fucking Canadian.
Yeah, there is no Irish in there. They're just Canadians.
Oh, not where I come from.
I'm German, Irish, Scottish, and Dutch. So I'm all the European nations where it rains a lot and the sun burns your skin and you go, ah.
Oh, little man is not wanting to go to bed tonight. God damn.
Well, we're running up on 2 hours. Victoria's Secret wasn't much of a secret. It's just a fat bitch blaming men and corporate America for her spending a lot of money on underwear and then being ashamed to wear it because she's a fat bitch. So
yeah, they could call it Victoria's tent awning then.
Yeah, Victoria the tent maker. So
you gonna pull the plug
any
then?
Final thoughts before we wrap her up?
Have a good rest of the week. This is my Friday. That's why I'm having myself a little peach crown and just enjoying my Friday night, talking to my brothers, and I appreciate it.
Well, that's right, JR. The land whales be tripping. And tell Junior Mitchell that, you know, he should save his crying until he gets a job and has to pay taxes.
Yeah. Well, like I said, maybe by the time I'm ready to kick the bucket, there'll be something set up for them to kind of just take over and avoid fucking, everything to do with this government, essentially.
You better
And,
start teaching that kid how to make pie.
I have to answer pooping while standing. The one who took the horse cock was Catherine the Great.
Oh, sick
She
bastard.
took a horse cock.
Yeah, that's one of the rumors. I don't know if it's true or not.
I thought she was a lesbian. No, that was Joan of Arc. Joan of Arc was a dyke.
Yeah, she's total dyke. Come on
Yeah.
I know
Come
she
on
was
now.
the Virgin of Orleans was nothing. Was neither, lesbian nor straight. She was a creature of God.
Yeah, which is even worse. It's a dyke on her period. She's on a permanent period. But if you guys get a chance down there, I know you guys do import it into the U.S. Try Labatt's Blue. If you go to
Yeah.
Walmart or something, they generally sell it pretty cheap. But that's one of my favorite Pilsner style beers that are up here. It's one that I can tolerate. You guys
I remember
What's all you guys drank was Molson.
No.
Yeah, I was gonna say I remember when Molson Ice came out and it was like 7.9%. And I'd buy some just for the effect. I couldn't stand the taste, but after you gagged the first 1.5 down, your taste buds went numb, and then you just got shit faced. It was great.
Molson Ultra. If you drank a 6-pack quick enough, you're guaranteed to vomit.
Well, I haven't had that. This was Molson Ice when it first come out, and that was back in the early 90s.
Yeah. Well, Ultra came out around the same time.
Huh.
And it made so many people vomit that I don't think they made it for like 2 years straight even.
No.
Well, you know what? A drink I saw a while back, and it's out every once in a while. They'll start it, is Zima. You remember Zimas?
Oh, fucking Zima.
We never got those here, but everybody seemed to love those. You guys have to send me some.
And you would take a Jolly Rancher, like a strawberry or a peach Jolly Rancher, and you'd throw it in the bottom of a Zima bottle, and it was a carbonated malt beverage, but it was like an alcoholic Sprite. I mean, it wasn't,
It had vodka in it.
No, it was a malt liquor, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
But-
it was no hard liquor. The Zimas were actually a malt. They called them a malt beverage. And I found some here a couple of years ago, and I'm like, holy crap, I haven't had one of these since I was like 19 years old. So I bought some, and yeah,
Do you know
drink
why-
a couple of them.
Do you know
and
why
get
it
a
had
headache.
all the pictures of ice and snow on the Zima bottle? Because Zima in Russian means winter.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it was supposed to be cool and refreshing. So they're selling
you
you a
drank
bottle of winter.
You drank enough of them, you wanted to go stick your head in a freaking snowbank. I know that.
I hated them goddamn things.
The girls loved them. They were like the girls' other alternative to wine coolers. Remember Bartles and James and all those things?
Oh, those Bartles and
Bag
James commercials were great, though.
The commercials were good, but God, those sweet ass wine coolers.
Oh, fuck that. Yeah, those women have all moved on to box wine now. They're into the Frenza now.
Yeah.
That's what we need to do is boxed wine coolers.
Like in a milk carton.
You might be on to something. You might be on to something.
Then you could put a picture of all their kids that they abandoned on the back.
No. Pictures of cats, dude. Pictures of cats.
and each boxed wine cooler comes with a package of Friskies stapled to the back of the carton.
My God, you guys might be on to $1 billion idea here.
I would
Well-
say you want to put a dildo coupon on there too.
No. They got their
So
own
they could get-
dildos.
Well,
maybe a
you never
coupon,
know.
Yeah, coupon.
They don't have a Bartles and James dildo,
No,
a
that's
boxed
true.
wine Bartles and James dildo.
Yeah, so if you excite your dildo enough, it shoots fucking alcohol.
Oh my god.
It might smell like cat food. They might like it.
My second wife told me that if I'd been drinking, and I busted a nut in her, it would get her drunk.
Your
is
second
that
wife was
possible?
Ukrainian, wasn't she?
Yeah, but she wasn't a real big drinker.
Yeah, but how is
She
that
must
possible?
have. She must have believed in a lot of stupid things.
Yeah.
She was blonde, so yeah.
I think. Well, if you busted a nut down her gullet, I would have said, "Yeah, you'll get drunk."
Well,
But
you
if
know,
it
you
goes
think about it. It's a fucking mucous membrane in there too.
Yeah, but alcohol doesn't cross those barriers. It stays in
Alcohol
your
is
bloodstream.
absorbed in your bloodstream as soon as it goes into your stomach.
Yeah, it goes through your liver and then into your bloodstream. It doesn't go anywhere near your semen, believe it or not. You can have other bodily
Hey,
fluids
that's
that
just
don't
what
get
she
alcohol.
said. I never fucking had anybody bust a nut in me, so I don't know.
Maybe it's just fermenting in there and turning into alcohol. With her yeast infection and the amount of sugar that's in semen, you could brew in a vagina.
You're making breadsticks and wine.
Yeah,
No,
And
it's fucking cheese. It's
bread
cheese.
yeast.
Cheese.
You're making booze, man.
You're making toilet sterno.
You know, Hemi, I don't like to brag, but I do bust a mighty load. I never fucking measured it, but
Is it a
I've
manly
always
load?
yeah, well, definitely different than our friend, the manly load.
Oh,
But I'm going to go with mighty load.
mighty load.
But my whole life I've had comments that it's greater quantity than usual.
If they
Throw an
have to
ashtray.
swallow 2 to 3 times, you know that was a good nut.
Yeah. My buddy's sister.
I have
she-
had them cough and it fucking came out their nose though.
my buddy's
They
sister
cook.
was such a nut gobbler that you couldn't gag her, you couldn't get it to burst out of her nose. She would just suck that down like it was fucking ice cream.
Don't they call that a Puff the Magic Dragon there? When it goes,
Wow. Out of her nose?
I think that's called the Magic Dragon.
That
yeah.
fucking-
I'm pretty sure your ex-wife was fermenting booze in her vagina. So she might have had a high yeast count.
Well, if she was Ukrainian, she might have been making the vodka.
Yeah.
might have been.
In the vagina.
All right, gentlemen. On that fine note, I think we're gonna call her a night. You guys can stick on the stream for a bit, but I'm gonna cut off the live portion. Thanks everybody for coming. Appreciate y'all. And when I start the over the road monk stream, I will let everybody know. Have a great evening. Thanks for coming. Bye bye.